And Israel's been warning about this for years, and we've even seen allegations throughout the previous flare-ups of violence in 2008 and 9, in 2012, in 2014, and 2021, where Israel was saying, UN installations are being used by Hamas. A lot of times the UN denied it. Sometimes they admitted it. I remember actually after the 2014 war, the UN put together something called a board of inquiry where they were looking at damage to UN facilities. And they put out this report. Of course, they mostly blamed Israel. But in the report, they did acknowledge that Hamas was storing weapons in in UNRWA facilities. And I went to a talk with Pierre Cranbuel. This was in 2015. I went to a talk he had at Harvard in 2015. And I asked him, okay, we have this board of inquiry report saying that UNRWA facilities were being used for weapons. Do you plan to undertake a full investigation in order, about this to determine how widespread the problem is, and in order to safeguard UNRWA facilities? Are you going to conduct any kind of investigation? And he said no. So they're well aware of this problem, and they didn't want to do anything about it. There's no immunity for international crimes. They can be officials of UNRWA that were involved in international crimes can be prosecuted. They will try to assert immunity, but just as they want to go after Bibi, who's the head of state. There's something called head of state immunity, but the ICC doesn't say that isn't applicable. The Rome Statute applies to, there's no immunity under the Rome Statute. So I think this is an area that people need to explore. If the ICC claims it has jurisdiction, why isn't it going after these actors? I think the problem that I've seen in some of the lawsuits against UNRWA is they're going after the organization rather than going after the people. And, they're going to have a trickier time going after the organization, but certainly not after the officials. And obviously they're going to fight tooth and nail on the immunity issue, but to the extent that they were complicit in these war crimes and crimes against humanity, they can be prosecuted.